aggro. That is the worst decision you could have ever made in your entire freaking life. What is your problem?
Hey guys and gals, and welcome back to Surviving Bedrock. So we've got a fun one lined up for today. We weren't planning on doing this. Our next episode was going to be the witch farm, but we had some happenings over the last few days with the release of the 1.21.60 update for Bedrock. I released a video on this. I'm going to link it up in the top corner of the screen here. But lecterns are kind of broken right now. And we've tested this with all other job blocks. Actually, we first discovered this during Prowl's live stream. And let's play that clip because it's amazing and amusing and I can't get enough of it. So we're going to put the clip in right here.
Spend some emeralds here for the purpose of mending. I will just buy what? 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 They can open what? Whoopsie! They're opening trap doors! Villagers are opening trap doors! What?
No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!
So yeah, that's how we discovered that, well, what we thought at the time was that the villagers were opening trapdoors. And with a bunch more testing, we discovered that it's in fact the Lectern job block that is opening trapdoors, not the villagers. So I did a video on it covering the bug, and then I had a comment in the video from Terry, one of the community members in Prowl's Discord, and probably a few others. But they had commented something on making a kelp or a bamboo powered farm, and that really got me thinking, why not? Just for the lulz, let's do it. This is a good spot for me to do it, and this is the basement of our house. Yep, we're up here, we got our dogs up here and everything. We got a wandering trader running around out there. But we got this water cave right next to this basement that we dug out, and I'm like, this will be a perfect spot to throw in a kelp farm. So why not? Just for fun, we're gonna make a Lectern Powered kelp farm. Now, first thing we need to do is actually make the lecterns. Like that. And we need to make all the pistons. Like that. So let me throw the ingredients list up on the screen right here so you guys could see. This is gonna be really easy. And who knows how long this farm is gonna keep working, but I figured it'll be fun to do. So let's go ahead and grab the stuff that we're gonna need to start working on this into our inventory. We'll need some solid blocks. This should do it for right now. I'm just gonna use this water cave here. If you guys are building something like this up on the surface, you'll have to manually place all your water. You'll need a bunch of water source blocks going up to the top. This doesn't need to be a specific height. I figured this depth was about good for this. You can kind of customize this any way that you see fit. And then this pattern up here with the torches and the blocks is how this is going to be laid out down there. The torches are going to be the kelp plants, and the blocks are going to be piston lectern combinations. Let's jump down here, and let's start planning this out. I'm not going to plant the kelp yet because the hitbox will get in the way of everything else. Let's grab our solid blocks. We're going to need those first. We are going to throw a row of solid blocks down like this, and we only need to go 8. We've got this room. I didn't cover this first. The room right now is 9 blocks deep. We're going to plant for 8 of them, and we need to leave the last row open. And then I think I've got this 16 blocks long. You can customize this however you need for whatever works for your situation. There's a weird thing with the water fog, too. Like, you lose your vision for a second. But okay, let's start here like this. I want the lecterns on the solid blocks. Like that. And I need to... I need to get air. I need to make a conduit. I've got the Heart of the Sea, a couple of them from treasure chests. I need to go ahead and make that. We need to place pistons on top of all of these, and we need to crouch while doing it, and yeah, we're gonna have some problems like that. As you could hear, one of those already went off. We just gotta kind of float here, and then... like, I'm holding shift and space at the same time, so that I don't sink as fast when I start crouching, so I can place these. I need to be right at the right height to place those. Okay, and then we're gonna put a second row of pistons. I also need to crouch for these, right here. This is gonna allow us to use half the number of lecterns, but double the number of pistons. And then what I can come and do is plant kelp like that. And I can plant kelp like, and before I plant that kelp, I actually need to build this in right here. And we need to go take a breath before we start drowning. There we go. Okay, back down we go. So this is how this is going to be set up. One row is going to have lecterns on top of solid blocks, with pistons on top of those. And then the row directly behind it is going to be another row of solid blocks and the pistons behind the lecterns. What this is going to do is when the lectern randomly gets its random buggy redstone pulse, it'll power any redstone powerable block that is on any of the 6 facing directions of the block. So top, or sides, or bottom. So what this is going to do is when one of those lecterns gets random power, it's going to power that piston and that piston. Yeah, fortunately, we have to keep coming up and taking breaths, but it's fine. And then we can do is come in and plant our 8 kelp like that. And then we need to... the next set is going to go here. 5, 6, 7, 8. Always leaving this 9th row completely open. Now we're going to do exactly the same thing we did before. Do 5, 6, 7, 8. And actually what I can do to... piston just pushed me there. Make my life a little easier. I can place the pistons against each other rather than on top of the lectern. I don't have to crouch then. Like that. Perfect. And then these ones I can do like this on top of these blocks now that I put the solid... so yeah, this is the easier way to do it. Is don't crouch on the lectern. Just place them on the other solid blocks. And then I can come through and plant this row. I'm planting these after I have everything in. I need that. I only brought exactly 64 kelp, so I need to not... yeah, the pistons may punch you around a little bit. Alright, so that one's in. Now we need to plant this row of kelp. And then there'll be a row of kelp here. And then 2 rows of solid blocks. You can customize this to be whatever size you need it to be. I figured about 64 kelp plants should give us a good amount of plant breakage to hopefully give us some good, rates for this. Now I can just stand over here and more easily place these. Respiration on your helmet is really easy, or really nice for this if you don't have a conduit. I'm gonna keep picking up the random kelp that gets broken. This is like the copper golem. Like, these things randomly pulse. There's no rhyme or reason to them. But it's basically 0 redstone other than making the pistons and making the lecterns, which they're a little bit expensive. You need a bookshelf for each one. But no redstone. You can build this fully under the water. You don't need observers. It's highly amusing, and I figured, why not make this? And if they do fix this bug, we'll come back in and fix it proper. But I figure for the time being, why not take advantage of this weird random bug? Okay, our last row of solid blocks here. And we'll run up and take one more breath, and we should be able to finish this. Back down. 8 more lecterns. And by doing it this way, we can use half the number of lecterns for double the number of pistons. So 64 pistons to 32 lecterns. Come in here. There we go. Plant the last row of kelp here. Now, if I did this right, and all of this is water sources like it should be, anything that breaks should float up to the top. We'll monitor that as we're going. I think this is all water sources. Yeah, everything's shooting up to the top, it looks like. We need to get rid of this little bit of floating water here. Let's grab dirt, because we're going to need that. And we're also going to need to get rid of this row of blocks. We'll get rid... Yeah, let's get rid of this now. This might be in my way. Let's get rid of this row of blocks. We need to put a solid floor. I grabbed dirt for this. It needs to be on the same level as this right here. So that's going to get rid of this flowing water bit. And this needs to go all the way. So we got to fill this entire space in with solid blocks. And what that's going to leave us with is all water sources underneath and then this solid block floor. If I calculated this right, we should need 2 stacks of solid blocks, because this... Actually, I don't think we did calculate it right. I think I'm going to need 1 more because I went 9. I technically don't need this row. I'll probably pull that back up. And I need to break these blocks because I need a headroom for this. Let me give myself a little bit more ceiling room. Move my torch. Just so I can see a little bit more clearly and you guys can see. Take this out. I'm going to need to be able to walk mostly up there. We'll worry about picking up all the blocks and stuff in a little bit. Okay, let's finish this. What I'll do is I'll just use stone for the last little bit. I used dirt just because it was going to be easier to break. Okay, so what we need to do is get our water buckets. I need at least 2 water buckets for this, because we need to place flowing water coming forward here. And if we do a water bucket every other, we should be able to grab from there and get a source block. So then we can keep going back, keep filling this in. Because we need all of this to be flowing all the way to the end, and it should stop at that last dirt block. Back up. Like that. Now every one of these should go right up to there. Perfect. What we need to do now is grab our shovel, which is why I use dirt, because this was going to break out a lot easier, and we need to break out all this now. And what this is going to do, it's going to keep the flowing water on top. So any of the items that get broken will float up and then float forward. And I'm going to have to... Can I get on this? Yeah. Let's get on here. This. Fight the water current that's trying to push us off here. Alright, and now I need to break out this last. Okay. Now there's one more step we have to take, because not everything is going to flow. As you see, a lot of this stuff is stopping. We need to... I can't get out right now. Let's grab some water down here really quick. We need to fill in this one side right here where there was dirt. Let me get those 2 buckets in my hotbar. I think we should be able to do the same thing here and grab a source there, maybe? Yes. There, grab a source. There, grab a source. And there. And what that should do is now yep, as you saw, everything started flowing this way. And we can test this by just grabbing a stack of blocks. What we're going to do is we're going to run around down here really quick. And we're just going to start throwing blocks out. I need to make sure that anything that gets thrown in here, let's jump out, is all flowing forward. And it is. Yep, it looks like all the water sources are exactly where they should be, and everything is flowing forward. which is perfect. That's exactly what we need. Let's go ahead and pick all this stuff up here. So now, let's clean up my hotbar a little bit. We need these 32 signs, and we need to do 2 rows of signs. And this is gonna actually give me a little trouble getting out. Once I do this, I might need to break myself a little way out. We'll worry about that in a minute. But we need signs. Oh, why is that? Okay, you know what? Here's a fun fact. This is where things are different in creative than in actually survival. We need a couple rows of solid blocks. Let's use the dirt because it'll be easier to break out with our shovel. Let's see. Let's do that. I think I need to do this, because otherwise these signs will waterlog, and we don't need waterlogged signs. We need signs that are stopping water. Okay, now if I did this right, we should be able to break out each one of these and then put a sign there, and it'll stop the water. And we don't need to write anything on them. It'll be kind of funny to leave secret messages or something on these. Why does it keep putting a D every time? I'm not pressing that button, I swear. Okay. So we're going to come in, we're going to break out. Actually, I can probably get away with doing this now, because this is flowing. Yeah. There. I can break out a few of these at a time. Run in and do the signs. What these signs are going to do is allow the items to fall in and then drop down. We need to break out this row now. Yeah, it's a lot quicker if I break out a few blocks at a time rather than one at a time. That one. Alright, 4 more. And then we're going to kind of be trapped in this farm. As I break these, we'll get out in a second. Okay, so now all the items are going to fall in and drop right here. And this is where we need to start the hopper line. And what I had done initially was had the hoppers going back, but I think I just realized that I can actually save a good amount of hoppers by just having them go this way. Because they're going to go this way anyway. So why not just have them go this way from the start? Let's see, can I reach those from down here just to make my life easier? Yes. Okay, so we'll just kind of perch ourselves on top of these pistons here. We will place our hopper line going this way. This is going to go to our collection system. Get over here. Let me see, can I get on top of this? Yeah. There. And last one. Nope. Get on top of that and not fall off the side. Perfect. Now, I can't get out, but any items should be getting picked up by these hoppers, and it looks like they are. Let's watch this one, make sure this is going over, down, and right into the hoppers. So what we're going to need to do is kind of break into here. Good, the water's not flowing. And then we can have this. Okay, that's going to be... It's because that's waterlogged. We'll deal with that in a minute. We need to have some way to, well, first be able to get out of here. But then secondly, we need to be able to have our collection. Which I guess we could just... Well, we need to go in at least one more. And we could just have chests going down here. Let's do that. And we got a little cave down here, which now I'm breaking all my torches out of. I haven't done anything with this area down here. Let's fix our torches really quick. Don't want anything spawning down here. We'll block this water in a second. It'll just help me get up. We're going to have another hopper go here, and then we can have the chests start like right here on top of these granite blocks. So let's break down a little bit. We need a hopper, 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 and hopper. We'll do 4 double chests. So if I grab said double chests, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Let's get back up here. Need to swim. Oh, we can do this. Let's swim so we can fit in the 1x. And we need to place hoppers going into the back of each of these chests. I'm holding space and shift at the same time on a keyboard. Alright, and if I do that, that'll make sure everything flows in at 1 speed, so it'll always fill the last chest first. If you have this hopper going down into this hopper, what's going to happen is if there's multiple items going in here at once, it'll put some of them in the bottom chest, but then some of them will actually go into this top chest. Because when a hopper is pointing downward, it'll actually pull down at 2x speed. I realized this with my iron farm because I kept getting iron in the top chest for some reason. I couldn't figure out why. I just figured out today this is why. You need the hopper before the stack going into chests to be pointing sideways, any which direction. Oh, obviously other than back into that hopper. But if we run down here now, if I break my way out a little bit here, we should, yep, have some kelp in here already. And I've already picked up quite a bit. Let's throw what I've picked up already in there. Look, in the time we built this, we've already doubled our amount of kelp that we started with. Probably gonna need a ladder or something to get out of here. We'll pillar our way up now. We'll build a ladder or something to make it easier for us to get out. We'll figure out exactly where that's going to go in a second. Okay, we got some ladders in hand here. Let's jump back down here. Let's create ourselves a little wall to attach the ladders to, and then we can get up and down. Just like that to check our drops. Like we've already gotten 17 more in the time it took me to go craft some ladders. Not too bad. Let's go ahead and now we'll cover this back up right here. That can fill in right there, and we can have a block go there. And that should have stopped all the water flowing through. And now this is fully... As you can see, this is actually quite productive. It's very amusing that this is working. And none of the plants, as you can see, are getting too abnormally high. Let's jump down in here, which we're gonna struggle to get out, but we'll deal with that in a minute. Yeah, the plants are only getting... 2, 3 high, 3 high. This one's growing a little bit. Like some of them might grow up a little bit before the randomness of the lectern piston goes off. But it's amazing that this works, and I figure why not utilize this bug while it's in the game? I can't promise how long this is going to be in the game. Oh, I wonder if I can I jump out of this quickly? Hey, I can. Hey, buddy, can you stop stealing my grass, please? Thank you. All right, so that is the Lectern Powered Kelp Farm with 0 redstone. So go ahead, if you want to waste the materials on making lecterns, go ahead and build one of these in your world, at least until they fix this. And honestly, this will be pretty easy to come in after the fact and tear out the lecterns and pistons and replace them with observers. Or even observers would be the only real... See, the trick with this, with it being underwater, and why this is a little bit more superior than the observer method, is there's no redstone. You can't waterlog a redstone dust, so you'd have to get creative on how you're powering your pistons off the observers. That's where this works really well. No redstone. It's just a lectern and a piston. Works fully waterlogged underwater. So yeah, this one's gonna hopefully be short and sweet because this was pretty easy to build. I had this water cave underground. If you don't and you want to build this above ground, you'll have to fill in all the water and make sure you have full water sources. If you don't, you can always plant the kelp all the way up to the top. That'll convert all your flowing water into sources. So you can just get yourself like above ground tank and then just pour a bucket of water across the top and make flowing water go all the way down. And then you can just plant the kelp blocks going all the way up. and that'll convert all that into source blocks. But yeah, this is working exactly like it should. And we'll see how productive this ends up being after a little while. We'll report back to you guys in the next episode, because we're gonna get tackling on that witch farm in the next episode. So guys, this was fun. This was really bizarre, but hey, if it works, don't knock it. I will catch you all next time. Please hit that like and subscribe button. My name is Aggro, and I gotta skate. Later. Hey guys, quick editor's note in here, really fast after the fact. If you notice that some of your kelp is occasionally collecting underneath this hopper line and it's not getting up into the water flow up there because it's getting broken and getting pushed over this way, just fill in this row with solid blocks completely underneath the hopper line. Just take you, I don't know, a couple stacks of solid blocks maybe, and that should keep all of your kelp from accidentally flowing and getting stuck under the hoppers. You may occasionally still get like the random one that just gets caught on the hitbox there. Not really much you can do about that, but this will negate about 99% of your potential loss. Thought I'd throw that in there for you guys. See ya.
Goodbye.